Now, not that long ago, I told you that the FTC and Microsoft were meeting. Well, we're getting early reports from Bloomberg about how that went, and oh my goodness, it did not go well. Let's dive in right now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Just take a second to do it before the video starts. I do appreciate it. It helps the channel out too. So Bloomberg is reporting the following. Basically, they're saying that Microsoft says they offered the FTC consent decree on Call of Duty, but it did not stick. Now, this comes from Dina Bass over there, and she actually has a Twitter thread. So let's take a look at the Twitter thread and then go back to the story. She says, Microsoft President Brad Smith says the company offered the FTC that it would sign a legally binding consent decree saying it would make COD available to rivals for a decade. It didn't help. Story to come. Microsoft already had done that, as far as I know, before going into the meeting, but they were willing to say, we will actually sign and let that happen. And the FTC still decided to take it to court. And the reason the FTC decided to take it to court was because there's no secret that Lina Khan and this branch of the FTC is trying to make a name for themselves. I think that is playing into it a little bit. And everybody sees Microsoft as the big bad. I just don't think that this was the case to do it on. The only one against it, the only one who's spoken publicly against it is Sony, a direct rival. And this would actually spurn competition between those two companies, which is a good thing. There is no input for closure. Nobody's trying to shut anybody down. 10 years of Call of Duty. I think the FTC has a losing case on their hands. And the fact that they snubbed their nose up at this, I think it's not going to pan out for them in the end. Dina Bass continues. Here's the full story. It says it offered the FTC consent decree on Call of Duty. I'm disappointed that the FTC didn't give us the opportunity to even sit down with the staff to talk about our proposal, to even see if there was a solution there, Smith said at Microsoft's annual shareholder meeting. So that's an internal source telling Bloomberg that during a shareholder meeting, they said the FTC didn't even let them sit down at the table. That's some pretty strong stuff. So to me, that almost says the FTC is acting in bad faith. And I tweeted out jokingly, Microsoft's point of view when walking in to talk to the FTC with an incredibly generous offer in hand. The FTC is just like, get out. We want to take you to court. And Microsoft's like, okay, we have $1 trillion and your case is terrible. Good luck, I guess. I don't think they wish him good luck, but yeah, it's very interesting to say the least. So Dina Bass said, I'm disappointed the FTC didn't give us a chance. We've updated the story with some info from a source on when Microsoft started engaging with the FTC on possible remedies it was willing to commit to. Again, it got them nowhere, but just for timeline's sake. So Bloomberg doing some good reporting, following up on this story and following it almost as often as I do. So trying to find where they talk about these quotes here in the actual piece. We know that they met with the regulators. It's the $69 billion deal, and the FTC has since decided to sue for the deal, with the FTC voting 3-1 for the lawsuit, with one person saying, I think we got a losing case here. I don't think you should do it. And they went ahead and moved forward with it. And if you haven't seen the video where I covered off on that, it always pops up over here and I point to the wrong side. Check this out here, because basically it seems like the FTC has already had their case refuted by the CMA, with the CMA saying that's not quite what happened. You got some stuff wrong in your initial statements. Here's a quote from the piece. The thing that probably disappoints me is not that we will have to present this case to a judge in a court, because this is a case which I have great confidence, Smith said at the Microsoft's annual shareholder meeting on Tuesday. I'm disappointed that the FTC didn't give us the opportunity to even sit down with the staff, to even talk about our proposal, to even see if there was a solution there. So Microsoft and Activision have publicly come out and said, we will go to court with you, FTC, about this. We are more than happy to. We think Your case doesn't have anything to it. So my question to you, if you're watching right now, is the FTC wasting their time? Do they actually have something here? What possibly could they want Microsoft to agree to? Or do they just want to, you know, mess with Microsoft a little bit so they look like they're taking on the big guy, when really at the end, you know who's going to suffer if this doesn't go through? Consumers. I don't see any positive outcome for consumers, and that's who they're supposed to be protecting at the end of the day. That's just my opinion. I think this deal should have been done already. I support the idea that the FTC is looking into it closer, trying to understand it better. Going straight to court and not even speaking to Microsoft, that's not a good look. It feels like it's more for political reasons as opposed to actually wanting to block the deal. Like there's much more compelling cases they could be taking on that aren't this one. The FTC said it's concerned the Activision deal will enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content and cloud gaming business. Except they're offering everybody 10 years. They offered 10 years to Nintendo, all PC, like, not Square. Geez, I'm blanking on it. Steam, and Steam said we don't even need to sign anything. Nintendo signed the 10-year deal. There's even a report that they offered Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus. So everybody's good with Call of Duty. Like anybody who wants Call of Duty can have Call of Duty. You can have it on whenever you want. And FTC's like, not good enough. The FTC declined to comment on the specifics of any Microsoft offers. The Bureau's longstanding policy is that we are always willing to consider remedy proposals that are put on the table in the course of our investigations and litigations, Holly Vadova, the director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition, said in an emailed statement. Sounds like you didn't even want to listen to Microsoft. Microsoft went there with consent decrees and you told them to get out. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but Brad makes it sound like no conversations were even had. They didn't even want to hear from Microsoft, and that's messed up. Here's what Khan said back in October. Behavioral remedies can often be ineffective and difficult to administer, Khan said in an October conference. Regulators need to be extremely wary of behavioral statements to make sure we're being mindful about when these will or will not work. And what they're talking about is that, sorry, let me reread that again. They're talking about when Microsoft took Bethesda games and then made them exclusive, and they used Starfield and Redfall as an example, or potentially Elder Scrolls. The problem with the Starfield Redfall argument is those were never going to be available on PlayStation. There was no public decree that those would be available on all platforms, right? Now they're only available on Xbox. Now, Smith said, the FTC case is really based on a market that they've identified that they say has two companies and two products, Sony PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox, which we all know isn't true. He said, if you look at the global market, Sony has 70% of the market and we have 30%. So the first thing a judge is going to have to decide is whether the FTC lawsuit is a case that will promote competition, or is it really instead of case that will protect the largest competitor from competition? I'm going to rephrase that a little bit. He's basically saying, will this promote competition, or is it going to protect the 70% holder? Like on paper, when he lays it out like that, it's very clear. Smith said PlayStation has 286 exclusive games, compared with Xbox's 59. So the administrative law judge is going to have to decide whether it's going from 59 to 60 is such a danger to competition that he should stop this from moving forward. This case is so garbage. Like, there is just no chance that the FTC walks away with a W with this one, right? Am I crazy? I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. So let me know. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell before you get out of here though. And let me know what you think about this case. This just seems like a loser to me for the FTC. And why would you take that? They have a lot of pressure to perform right now. Lina Khan's burning through money at the FTC, and maybe they thought they had an easy W here. If this goes to trial and Microsoft seems willing to eat that $500 million deadline to fight this, it's not going to be a good look for them. They're just burning through more money. I think that's going to be very problematic for them in the near future. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much to the members for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you doing so. Thank you so much. And hit that join button right down there. If you want to support this channel, ding, it's right there. Before I go though, if you want to hear their initial statements, you can check out that video here. I hope it's on this side. And of course you can hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.